Alrighty, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming to our virtual BAP 101. For those who weren't here earlier, thank you so much for joining. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So a little introduction for those who just joined us. Hi, my name is Annie. I am your president for this year. And I wanted to welcome you all to Beta Alpha Psi. We are the Theta Omnia Chrom chapter at UNLV, and we were founded back in 1995. And we are very proud to have over 130 students within our chapter. We are an inclusive finance, information systems, and accounting honor society, and we're so glad to have you all here today on this beautiful Saturday morning. I know it's indoors, but we'll go ahead and get started by clicking on the video so you can learn a little bit about what Beta Alpha Psi is. Cameron, if you can turn on the volume, please, for the video.
Sorry, what?
There's no volume or audio.
My bad. Sorry, guys. I'm technologically challenged a little bit. Okay, so maybe because I was muted, it didn't have the sound, but now I can't get it to play.
It's an opportunity to...
Okay, let me restart it. Sorry. Teehee.
If you're in the accounting, finance, or systems area, and you're looking to really broaden your network, take a look at some of the professions that are out there, Beta Alpha Psi is probably the best opportunity for them.
It's an opportunity to advance yourself professionally and academically.
Beta Alpha Psi provides a unique opportunity not only in networking, but also setting us up in the real world. Meeting professionals gives us insight in what the professionals actually do on a day-to-day basis, as well as really interview tips, networking tips, and also resume and cover letter tips.
You get to engage with professionals and you get to see from their point of view what they value as an essential skill to have when you get into the real world.
I kind of learned how to become a leader and truly talk to people, and interviewing with the Big Four just seemed so much easier.
If you ask a student to be really honest, they'd say, boy, it looks great on my resume. Now, there are other reasons which are equally important. Professional growth, they meet peers and learn how to work in organizations and groups.
It gives the students unbelievable leadership opportunities, unbelievable networking opportunities with alums and recruiters and amongst themselves.
Just by becoming a member of Beta Alpha Psi, you are branded from an employer perspective, because people know that when you join Beta Alpha Psi, you have done really well academically. You're well-rounded because you're giving back to the community, and you're somebody who's hungry for more knowledge. And those are all things as employers, that's what we want our employees to do.
They also, I think, get opportunities to think beyond just their own careers and what they want to do in business. Because of the community element in Beta Alpha Psi, they have to think about what they want to do to help others.
We spend half of our time at least doing community service in Beta Alpha Psi. So half of our hours are spent in community service and about half of our hours are spent doing professional activities.
It's giving back to the community, mentoring and coaching. All of those are key essential things that you need to exhibit and really do throughout your professional career. And that, a lot of the time, is going to be what's going to differentiate you at any level.
Attending the meetings and especially getting involved in some of the workshops and some of the presentations, it gives you preparation for your career. You're going to be walking into an audit room. You're going to be walking into a partner's office and having to tell the thoughts that are in your head so they understand how you're thinking.
The annual meetings are always held in really nice big cities. We've been to San Francisco, Hawaii, Anaheim, Chicago. The environment is extremely dynamic.
So it was a great opportunity to be able to come in and do professional development, learn different things, but also it's a great way to have fun and mingle with peers from across the country.
It's an incredible opportunity for all the participants. It's great for the faculty. As they teach, they're able to bring in people who are supporting from the corporate side into the classroom. Obviously, it's great for the students. They're starting to learn the difference between public accounting, large firm, small firm, the corporate world, the nonprofit world. And these are things that typical undergraduate student really never has that opportunity to witness. And of course, it's great from the employer side because the typical hiring process is interview driven. But this hiring process takes place over a couple of years because you're at the chapter meetings with them, you're having service days with them. You're getting to know these people really, really well. So your hiring decisions are going to be much better than they otherwise would have been.
When you become a member of Beta Alpha Psi, you're a member for life. And so it's not just about the student experience, but it's about giving back after you've entered the business world and becoming a mentor for one of the accounting students or finance or information students coming up through Beta Alpha Psi. It's about creating an ethical foundation. It's about developing and enhancing your business skills, your networking skills, and developing the skills necessary to be successful in today's business environment.
Alrighty, I hope you guys all enjoyed that video, and for many of you, it's probably the second or third time you've seen it, but we always like to play it for everyone so you can see like what's so amazing about Beta. So now we'll go ahead and jump into the membership requirements. For the fall, for this semester, we have adjusted our membership requirements to reflect the COVID-19 situation. So as a candidate or initiate for if your first time joining Beta, or this is your second semester in Beta, you have to complete 8 BAP hours in professional activities, and all of the type of events are going to be listed on the event title in Eventbrite that we'll talk about. Second, 8 hours in community service, and you have to finish at least one group activity. For tutoring, you have to do 3 BAP hours. If you're an information systems student, this does not apply to you. For social, 2.5 BAP hours, and from that, at least one of that hour has to be in bots or EOTs. Lastly, our words banquet is going to be mandatory. It's going to be virtual this year as well. As a member, so after your third semester, my apologies, you only have to do 4 in both professional activities and community service. The one group service activity still applies. 3 hours in tutoring, which is 2 tutoring sessions. Attend 1 hour of bots or EOTs and attend a words banquet. We also have an initiative for those who love to go above and beyond. This is not mandatory whatsoever, but you have to complete 15 BAP hours, 15 in professional activities and community service. Tutoring is still the same, social is still the same. And finally, we do have office visits for you in order for you to get the recognition as a superior member. Next slide, please. So please remember, so everyone has to attend at least 1 hour of bots or EOTs to complete your social requirements. 1 BAP hour is 50 minutes long, so it's not a full 60 minutes. And this only applies for professional and community service hours. This does not count for tutoring. Oh no, it does count for tutoring, but it's included differently. Tutoring is, please go back. Tutoring hours also can become community service hours. If you have an excess in tutoring, they'll automatically be converted to community service. Next, I'll pass it on to Jackie to go into status progression.
Okay, so for many of you, it's going to be your first semester in Beta Alpha Psi, so you're considered a candidate. As you progress and you meet your hour requirements that we have to ensure that you meet everything that Beta Alpha Psi can give you, you'll become an initiate and finally a member. And so in order to continue to progress with Beta Alpha Psi, you need to complete our hour requirements that we just talked about. You have to have a 3.2 cumulative GPA, and you have to have a 3.0 in your upper division accounting classes. For members, this is exempt. So once you become a member, you no longer have a GPA requirement. You just, go through your courses and everything, you're exempt of that requirement specifically, but you are required to attend awards banquet, as Annie spoke about earlier. And then in order to continue to progress, you have to continue to be in BAP. You can't take a semester off after you become a candidate. You have to continuously have your 3 semesters in a row. And after you become a member, you will officially be a lifelong member of Beta Alpha Psi on a national registry. Next slide, please.
Okay, so by attending our events, not only will you be able to get the networking opportunities, you will also get a chance to win money. So at the end of each semester, we pick the top 3 initiates and members for with the most BAP hours for scholarships. And the first place is going to be $500, second $250, and third with $150. And in addition to this, we also have a distinguished candidate scholarship, which is awarded to the member with the most hours completed. And next slide, please. And we give out these awards at our at the awards banquet, which is held virtually this year on December 4th. This event is mandatory to all the attendees. Rocio, where are you at?
Rocio,
She here?
you're on mute if you're talking.
Oh, she can't unmute herself.
Okay, okay, I'll just go over the slide then. Okay, so to sign up for events on our UNLV Beta Alpha Psi website, you're gonna click the link. So Cameron's just gonna show us a quick run through. Okay, and so later on today, I believe
Okay, I think it's working now.
Okay, you're good?
Yeah, it's no, I wasn't able to unmute myself. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna go over the signing up for the events. We go to the Beta Alpha Psi website, and then we're gonna go to the events, and they're gonna get the calendar. And the calendar, you choose what date or what you want to see. Yes, yeah. You go to the event, so that's gonna take you to the Eventbrite, and over there you're gonna see all the information for the event, and then you will see the date, the time, the requirements, what it's about, and then if you are interested and you want to go for it, then you click on register. Once you click on register, it will give you the type of tickets that are available. For you as a BAP member, you have to choose the second one that it says BAP member. This is very important because if it's open to all students, the way that you're going to get your hours counted is going to be by choosing your BAP member ticket. So that's very important. So once you do that, you can register. Click on the bottom on register. Okay.
Well, I don't know why it's going so slow, but you guys get the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then it's just gonna ask you for your contact information, and it's going to email you your ticket. Also, it's very important that this year, well, this semester, we're doing virtual presentations and virtual events. So all our tickets are tied to a Zoom link. So it's very important for you to keep that link, especially for like employers night, because as a BAP member, you're going to have other privileges or other benefits. So it is really important for you to keep that link like secure for only for your use. Okay. And next slide, please. Okay, so for virtual presentations, we ask if you guys see today, it gets kind of hectic at the beginning with everybody like audio. So we please ask everyone to make sure you mute yourself when you entrance the presentations. And we highly recommend to have your camera on. You have to understand that different therefore in-person presentations on virtual is really important for the professionals to put a face on the attendees. That will help you for your recruiting opportunities. So when you go and try to like apply or anything, they remember your name. Okay, your name is right next to your face, so they will remember your face. So just make sure that you have also, like we recommend, the etiquette, the what's it called, to have to be conscious of other people's time, other people's like talking. So we want you to like be really participate on it, but also be mindful that other ones are going to be on the presentation. And office visits, John.
All right. So in order to meet superior status, we require students to go to one office visit during the semester. This is a very excellent opportunity for y'all students to network with professionals, as it gives students more one-on-one with professionals, and it really gives you a leg up. And at the same time, you get to see their office. Here are some of the upcoming office visits. Firms may ask for specific requirements. So maybe, for example, we only want seniors to ask for the tickets, and we will put that in Eventbrite if there is any special requirement. Next slide. So for students new to recruiting, we do have some events catered to you guys. On Monday, September 14th is the accounting recruiting panel. But as we'll hit on later, that this is an outside event, so you guys can still get the professional activities hours for it. If you are a returning member and want to brush up your recruiting skills, you can definitely still go to the recruiting panel or any other events as covered before. Next. And then so we'll have our fall virtual employers night on September 22nd. And that 5 to 6 is strictly BAP students. So please take advantage of that hour. Definitely meet with firms. And from 6 to 8, it will be everyone else. On to Tia.
Okay, so we do offer you the option of getting non-BAP related hours for community service and for professional hours. Now, I know that there were a few events earlier this week virtually with PwC, KPMG, and EY. If you did attend those, you are able to get credit for attending those. Even though we hadn't had BAP 101 yet, that's not your fault that the companies were trying to get a jump. So there is a maximum of 3 hours for non-BAP events that you would do. Community service does not include helping your family move. Or even if you get paid for it. If you get paid in food, that doesn't count. So go ahead. To check your BAP hours, you just, of course, go to the unlvbap.org, click under the BAP hours tab. And when you click on BAP hours, now I will tell you, it took me a couple of semesters to figure out that I could view the the spreadsheet of everything to make sure that all my stuff got put in there. But if you look, there is a spot for the master spreadsheet where you can look and make sure that all of your hours have been recorded. Go to the next slide, Cameron. Now we talk about the dreaded strike system. So far, all of y'all are off to a great start. The strike system is basically for those who don't show up to an event that they had signed up for. We understand, everyone's human. Things come up, especially during COVID, and we get that. However, you do have the chance to go in to Eventbrite and cancel within 24 hours. As long as you're canceling within 24 hours, you're not going to get a strike. And anyone who gets strikes in any 3 strikes within any given semester will not be able to attend any more BAP events and will be asked to leave Beta Alpha Psi. The purpose behind this is really just, it's an honor system, yet we're trying to help you be more accountable and be where you say you're going to be when you're going to be there. So yeah, if for whatever reason you can't make it, just make sure to communicate with myself as the reporter or like Annie. So yeah. And we'll move on to the unfulfilled requirements. So you do have to, if you don't meet your requirements, your hour requirements as a candidate. So if this is your first semester and you don't meet your requirements, then you are permanently removed. Initiates, those that this is their second semester, you do get one, you get it. We give you a chance. We understand, like I said, everyone's human. You'll be on probation that following semester. For members, again, it's but you have to have at least so many hours. If you're struggling with your GPA, I recommend tutoring, because if you don't, as a candidate or initiate, if you don't meet the GPA requirements, you are ineligible to rejoin. Once you hit that member status, though, it's not an issue any longer, but we still encourage you to meet those requirements. So we'll pass it off to Katie.
Thank you. So we pride ourselves on being an ethical and inclusive chapter. And honestly, this is my favorite part of Beta Alpha Psi, is because since we accept everybody, you're bound to find somebody that you like and bound to become a friend with. So I just really love this part about Beta Alpha Psi. And in order to keep this good reputation, we just ask every member to keep up with your hours and keep up your professionalism at events. So next slide. So we are a superior chapter, and we're really proud to say this. We actually got our Gold Chapter Award this semester, or this year too. And not many chapters actually made this achievement, and we would love to maintain this with you guys. And this just goes back to saying, like, keep up on your hours, make sure you dress professional. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to. We want you guys to make those hours and make those professional moments. Next slide.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Cameron. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the membership director, and I am going to be talking about our dress code guide. So business professional, for women, pants or a skirt, suit, a blazer, collared blouse or a shirt, a nice top, and light accessories and makeup. With the accessories, you don't want to wear too many earrings, facial piercings, things like that. I do have nose piercing, but it's very thin, so usually I can get away with it. But for business professional, it's a good idea to take that out for those events. For men, business suit, blazer and slacks, tucked in dress shirt, simple tie, neat hair. Same thing with the accessories if you do have piercings and things like that. Business casual for women, colored dress pants or skirt, a blouse with or without a collar, sweater or turtleneck, light jewelry and makeup again. And then for men, slacks, tucked in dress shirt, blazer or sports jacket is optional, and a tie. Now for business casual, you could also wear your BAP polo. If you don't have one, we will be talking about that later. You can purchase one, and that's a really nice, comfy thing to wear for business casual with some nice pants. Smart casual, no short shorts, no crop tops. I mean, that was just a bad idea unless you're just like out with your friends and stuff, not for a business situation at all. Business casual and jeans, look neat. For socials, use your own discretion. So I think you guys, know what is appropriate and what is not to wear to these events. And then casual, everyday clothing, t-shirts, leggings, jeans. This would be for like meet and greet booths on campus, but like we don't really have that this semester. So yeah. And another thing I wanted to address, even though we are still in like this virtual setting, it's still important to maintain professionalism and look nice, even though you are on a webcam. So that means from the waist up, please wear nice shirts and your BAP polo and stuff. You can wear pajama bottoms as long as they're not visible. And then another really important thing is your backdrop. You don't want to have, your room a mess and your bed not made and all this stuff going on in the back. It's distracting and it doesn't look professional. So if you can find like a nice clean wall to sit in front of, or even if you do have to sit in your room, just make sure it looks neat. If you do not wear proper attire to an event, you will not be allowed to stay or receive your hours for that event. Now, with this, I mean, we can't really tell you to leave the event, but we will, if we see that you aren't dressed appropriately, we may send you a message like, hey, would you mind like changing? And then if it happens multiple times, then you will get a strike. Kira, it's your turn.
Hey everyone, I am the Community Service Director, and I'm just gonna talk a little bit about community service. So meeting community service requirements, candidates and initiates are required to complete 8 BAP hours of community service, including 1 group event. For a member, the requirements are cut in half, but you're still required to attend at least 1 group service event. Unfortunately, due to COVID, not a lot of places are doing in-person community service, but we are able to have a few in-person opportunities this semester, and we'll be doing Spread the Word, Get Outdoors Nevada, and we'll also be working with candlelighters. Those are group community service activities, so they will count for the group service requirement. So far, we have dates for September, but we're working on adding more as the semester progresses, and we'll get more information from organizations in regards to later dates. And it's also important to notice that all in-person events will be meeting safety standards and social distancing guidelines due to COVID-19, and you're always going to be required to be wearing a mask. Next slide, please. Nevertheless, we are still offering virtual community service opportunities this semester as well. For instance, we're going to have Project Sunshine. They have a few small projects that you can be a part of, such as telling jokes for children in hospitals, which would be done by recording a video of yourself telling the joke, also sending thank you messages, and even sewing masks if you're talented like that. Likewise, we have the Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth, which you can help by being a document translator by submitting notes of encouragement. We'll be sending emails soon with more details and information if you're interested in participating in virtual community service opportunities. And now I'm gonna pass to Paul to talk about tutoring.
Yeah, tutoring, the best part. So as communicated before, so you can see right here, all BAP members are required to complete at least 2 75-minute sessions. 75 minutes plus 75 minutes is 3 hours, so that will account for what you need to complete. The way it's going to work this semester is it's all going to be virtual. There's going to be no in-person sessions. And so if you go to the UNLV BAP website and you click on schedule right there, as you can see on the screen, it will take you to, there's a virtual guide. It'll explain how everything works, how you sign in and sign out. But we'll get to that in a bit here too. Just as another note, IS students are not required to meet the tutoring requirements. So just as an FYI, this semester we're going to be using WebEx to use like as a virtual hosting platform. So there's some issues with this. We didn't want to have too many premium accounts because of just the logistics of using it that way. So basically the way it's going to work is when you join a tutoring session, it's going to last 50 minutes and then it's going to drop the call. We're going to ask that you at least let the student that you were tutoring know, like it's going to drop out, and then just rejoin the call simply after that point. There's really no better workaround, and we're sorry that this is how it is, but it's just our only best workaround for COVID. Next slide, please. So this is that sign-in sheet, just to show you kind of how it looks like. Basically, as you can see how Annie filled it out at the top, you put your first name, your last name, the time that you were scheduled to tutor, and then time out. There will also be a spot for like if you did a drop-in, which is like essentially a walk-in. We're not going to call it a walk-in this semester because it's virtual. Next slide, please. Okay, so this semester we are implementing something a little bit different. We're going to do scheduled tutoring sessions. So we're going to have drop-ins and scheduled. For drop-ins, we're tutoring for 201 and 202. So for the most of you, this is what will apply for you. However, if you're a little bit more experienced, you've already taken 400 or 405, and you feel more confident with that material, then you can apply. We'll send a survey out in an email, and it will basically say, like, what are you comfortable with? And then you'll be able to say, like, oh, I can tutor for 400, 405, and we will give you extra BAP hours if you do that. So that is incentive there. So look out for that future email for that survey, and then we'll reach out to you with more information on that regard. Next slide, please. So this is the BAP tutoring schedule that you will find under the BAP tutoring section on the BAP website. You can check out here, like, if there's a walk-in session, or sorry, a drop-in session available. So if you want to drop in and get some extra hours, that doesn't count towards the maximum that you're allowed per week. But you can also just check out, like, and stalk your friends if you want to see who's tutoring this week. So that concludes my part. Oh, no, it does not. The tutoring guide is available under the schedule tab. Just to emphasize again, we don't give out answers to the students. Make sure that we're helping them to understand the material. We really don't want to be seen as just like a homework service. We're more like trying to help people understand what's going on there. And with that, I'm going to be passing it over to Jacqueline, and she'll be talking about fundraising.
Hi guys. So this semester we are a little more limited on some of the fundraising, and so the food fundraisers are still to be determined, and so we will communicate that to you. But when we do have those, you can receive 15 service minutes if you do attend those events. Just email Tia. Otherwise, as Cameron mentioned, you can purchase the polos and use those at events. We also have hoodies available and are working on t-shirts.
Okay, guys. So a lot of you, or some of you already attended the mentor workshop, but if you're going to be a mentee, this is how it's going to work. You're going to be paired with a member who has previously attained an internship or full-time offer or has gone through recruiting season. That way they can give you some advice, they can help you, especially prepare for employers night. And it's just a good way to kind of learn a little bit more, have somebody who has some experience. You are going to be required to meet at least 2 times. So this can be in person if you're comfortable. If not, you can do virtual, you can do a Zoom call, you can do FaceTime, but you do have to take pictures. And then you are going to set up a list, and then you are going to email the pictures and the list to betaalphapsi@unlv.edu. So there are going to be 2 deadlines because you do have 2 separate meetings, but your mentors will have a lot more information on that, and you guys can work together to figure out what's going to work best for you guys. Next slide. So you're going to be using Google Keep. So this is what it looks like. There's an app on your phone. You guys can share this. So the mentor and the buddy can just share this with each other. And you're just going to make a list of your goals for the semester. So it can be, here are some examples of go to at least 3 professional presentations. And maybe these are the 3 you want to go to. And then there's employers night. Maybe you want to work on your resume and you want your mentor to help you. All of that stuff you'd put on a Google Keep. And then you can check it off as you're completing the things throughout the semester. And this is also what you'll have to be sending to the membership director. Follow us.
All right, guys. So make sure to follow us on social media. So right now, what we use for most of our posts is the Instagram. So if you're not following that, make sure to follow. And if that's not your cup of tea, we do have a Facebook that is now live that is linked to the Instagram. So if you don't have an Instagram, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, and you won't miss a post. We're gonna try to keep it. We're gonna try to stay real active on social media this semester, just because we can't leave our houses. So this next following week we're gonna have a photo contest. So if you want to participate in that, make sure to follow us and like us. Also, we have a LinkedIn that's a little more professional, but if you want to have some fun, come on down to UNLV BAP on Instagram and UNLV Beta Alpha Psi on Facebook.
So we do still have semester dues this year, but we have lowered them. So for first semester candidates, meaning you've been here for this whole period, it's your first semester in BAP, that fee is going to be $115 for the semester. $75 of that is the executive office fee, and it's not even something that we can negotiate. That's just the national chapter fee of being a part of the National Beta Alpha Psi chapter. But we do also have that $40 chapter fee for UNLV. Initiates and returning members will only have to pay that chapter fee for UNLV of $45. If you are in the mentorship program, you can get a discount and only pay $25. If you weren't in the mentoring workshop this morning with Stephanie, please email Annie Lou at president@unlvbap.org if you're interested in becoming a mentor. The payment is due today at midnight. Can we go to the next slide? So you really need to pay by tonight at midnight. There are a few exceptions. If you plan on paying by check, please contact our president, Annie Lou, so that she knows that you're not just not paying. She also will be able to give you a deadline for that check, and the link to pay should be on the email that you received with the BAP information. Additionally, if you apply for the Dues Aid Scholarship and Payment Plan, then you have a bit of an extension before this payment is due. Just a reminder, if you're new to BAP, you have to pay $115. If this is not your first semester, you need to pay $40. And if you're a mentor, then that's only $25.
Right. Really quick, I'm going to jump in about the dues aid and the payment plan. If you are struggling with with payment, or you need some help, because I know COVID is really hitting really hard, just make sure to reach out to me if you need any extension with the payment plan, or if you didn't apply for the payment plan specifically, still reach out to me so we can work something out. All right, thank you. And I'll give it back to Cameron.
Okay, so now we're just going to open it up for questions. I know that was a pretty extensive PowerPoint. Lots of information was thrown at you guys. I saw questions in the chat box, but I'm not sure if they got answered or not. If anybody has a question, please unmute yourself or type in the chat box right now. Oh, they got answered? Okay, then we can move on. Is Google Keep mandatory? No, but it's a good way for the buddies and mentors to both have the list, and like if the buddy checks something, it pops up on the mentor's phone, so they both have the same list going. So it's helpful, but not mandatory.
To clarify, if you're in the Buddy Mentor program, it's mandatory for you to use it. But if you're not in the Buddy Mentor program, then you don't have to use it as for you personally.
There you go.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, virtual service activities will count as a group service event. Some of them will, like, so we'll specify on the Eventbrite. Some of them that we're going to be doing is going to be also flexible on your own time. So that's how we are operating this semester. Not all candidates are in the Buddy Mentor program, so you have to have applied on your application. We actually have an overwhelming response, so we are not accepting any more buddies. And please note that if you applied as a candidate to be a mentor, you don't qualify because you have to be an initiate/member. Oh, there's a lot of questions here.
Okay, I'll answer the social one. So we have another option other than bots and EOTs. So we have our trivia night, and for meet and greets, I believe you get about maybe 15 minutes of BAP minutes for meet and greets. That's going to be when you sign on. We'll get a list of everyone who signs on, and you should be able to receive your hours there. So that shouldn't be a problem whether you received your ticket as a BAP ticket or not. But we would highly recommend that you do get a BAP ticket when you do sign up.
Following that real quick, if you ever attend an event and don't think that your hours are recorded for it, please let us know and we can check the list of non-BAP tickets to see if you attended.
And then we are following the COVID-19 hour requirements. Those are the ones that are implemented into this PowerPoint. The other ones would be 10, but we're not following those hours. We're following the 8 hours that we spoke about for professional and then tutoring and so on. So that's going to be on our website again. If you ever forget any of this information, it should be the correct information uploaded on the website. And then, as I spoke about earlier, if you did not get a BAP ticket, we still get a record of everyone who attends the event. I would recommend that if you could, you get a BAP ticket, but if you already got your ticket, it's okay, just for future reference.
So, and someone asked, how do they know if they're in the mentor program? You should have signed up, like essentially signed up on your application. They asked if you were interested, and if you check that you were, you are gonna get an email with your buddy or mentor.
So for the meet and greets, I believe they're windows, so it should be the window that you have. So it would be for each one. So if you go to PwC, EY, and KPMG, you'll get those social minutes for each one. And if you stay longer, we don't give you any more. It's only those allocated time that we give you.
Logan, for those who are trying to buy hoodies and t-shirts, we use a link for payment on our website, but we'll also send out a reminder email to those who are interested so people can go ahead and pay for them. And once we'll have a correspondence through email there. So if you once again, if you attended any of the events last week, or anything before BAP 101, go ahead and go on the website to the non-BAP reporting hours and submit what you have attended there so we can record your hours there. And then there was a few. So there's also some confusion. There may be some confusion about not getting a BAP ticket for other events. Any event prior to this one doesn't have a BAP associated ticket. Just make sure you record it in the form that I mentioned before, and it's found on our website under hours, and need recording those hours specifically. And to clarify, we are following the revised COVID-19 hours. It should be updated on the website. I'll double check it tonight and just before 4 o'clock. So everything should be properly reflected. So that is it. And for tutoring, if you sign up and no students come in during that session, your hours will still count. It is going to mirror what happens in our in-person tutoring sessions as well. And we will have virtual community service events, even if you're out of state. I know it's a very unique situation for you all. And if we are going to have group virtual tutoring once again. Once again, just for clarification, all events for Beta Alpha Psi is going to open tonight at 4 p.m. None of the events are going to be open prior to that, so make sure you register right at 4. Some events are quickly filled up, so keep an eye out for that. Lastly, we also have, we will always be updating the events that we have too, so make sure to go check our calendar frequently to see what opportunities that we have. Whatever we have right now should be set and ready to go, but if there's any changes to those, we will definitely reach out and communicate them to you. Alrighty, so one last thing, for those who usually do things in person, you will remember this little sheet. We have something called a KPMG Gold Release Form that we need everybody to sign to complete. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the chat, and I need everybody to sign it so we can make sure we don't have any problems or get in trouble.
And then if you don't want to be in the pictures or anything, we just ask that when we do take pictures that you just either turn your camera off or step away from those pictures.
Yes. Alrighty, so I think we have a little activity, which is a Kahoot, right, Cameron?